Hey, how's it going? This is Rob from Justin's Toys, and today I'm going to show you how to put a double-sided charm on perfectly. As you can see, here's my mood charm, and I have it clipped on one end, and if you look at the back, it almost looks like there are absolutely no clips unless you look close. I'm going to show you the simplest way to do this on one loom. Alright, so as you can see, I have my loom. It's completely taken apart, and I have about 20 rubber bands. You're going to need from 14 to 20 rubber bands depending on how big your wrist is. And to set up your loom, you're only going to need 2 of these. So I'm going to take one set at a side, and the big base plate. And what you're going to do is you're going to take this piece, make sure that the arrows are pointing towards the center of the base, and you're going to put it on top of the base like this. As you can see, I'm going to zoom in. You're only having one peg in from these little circles on the bottom, and once you have it set up like that, on the other side you're also having the arrows pointing towards the center. So when you take a look at your setup, they're actually facing opposite directions, and arrows on both of them are pointing towards the center. So this side is pointing that way, this side is pointing that way. Alright? And once you have your setup, you're ready to start adding your rubber bands. I'm going to pick fuchsia, dark green, and blue, because those seem to be the most frequently appearing colors on the mood band. And I am going to start 4 pegs in because of the fact that I know my wrist takes about 20 rubber bands to completely go around my wrist, including the charm. Younger kids, you know, if you're between the ages of 6 and 10, I'd probably say start with the 5th or 6th peg in, but for me, I'm starting with the 4th peg in. And then you're going to start with your first color rubber band, and you're going to put it on whatever you think your wrist should be. So, starting from the 4th peg, I'm putting my first rubber band, then my next color, and I'm just going to do this until I am completely down to the center. Alright, so now I have hit the center, and now I can begin on the other side. So I'm just going to turn my loom around, and then again on this side, starting from the 4th peg in, I'm going to put my first color and just work my way in. Alright, now I'm ready to apply my charm. So as you can see here, I have my charm, and what you want to do is you want to take a rubber band and kind of pinch it. You take the rubber band and then you pinch it so that it's as small as possible, and you're going to put it through that hole. It's almost like sewing. You want to get that in the hole, and then you're going to grab those two ends of that rubber band and you're going to put it onto this peg right here. Okay, so grab those two ends and then put it onto that end. And then what you want to do is apply it onto this peg as well. So, zooming in, I am going to again pinch this rubber band and then put it through that hole. Once I get it through that hole, I'm going to grab both ends of the rubber band and then put it around that peg. So you want to make sure both ends of the rubber band are in. And then once you do that, you are ready to begin looping. So at this point I'm going to grab my hook and I'm going to go in front of these two greens and grab the blue from under them. So again, I'm going in that hole in front of those two greens and just grabbing the blue. Now the thing is, you probably want to use like a good surface, because the only thing that's holding these two clear pieces is this. So you don't want to do this on your lap because this is going to fall apart. So try to make sure that when you are doing this, you have some type of support, because it is very unstable. But it also is the best method of attaching a double-ended charm. So now again, I'm going in front of all the rubber bands except the bottom one, and I'm going down to the end. Okay. Alright, so now I hit the end. And now I can actually turn the whole entire loom around. Again, starting from the center, I'm working my way out. And just like before, I'm going in front of these two greens. This time I'm going to show you this way. In front of both greens. Let me just make sure I'm zoomed in perfectly. In front of both greens, I'm just grabbing that blue from under, around and over. In front of both blues, grabbing that pink, just like a regular rubber band bracelet. Alright. So now that I'm at the end, this is kind of tricky, but it's also going to save you a lot of time and frustration. What I'm going to do at this point is, holding this down, I'm going to put my hand right here. I'm actually going to lift this clear part with the rubber bands on it. I'm going to pull it off and I'm going to bring it around to the other side. I'm going to reapply it back onto this base. So sometimes the charm gets in the way. It's okay, because even if it falls off, doesn't matter, as long as these two rubber bands are still on the loom, your bracelet cannot fall apart. Okay, so now zooming in, you're going to the end of the bracelet and you're grabbing those two rubber, both ends of that single rubber band. You're bringing it up and over to the same symmetrical other end of the bracelet, as you can see. Alright, and once you do that, you're ready to grab a clip and clip it. And by clip, don't confuse that with cut. I know some people had issues before. You're taking your hook, you're putting it in that peg, and you're wrapping, you're pulling all 4 ends of those bands to the side, and this is the easiest way to clip it. Have a firm grip on the clip and pull it up. And now you have all 4 of those 4 ends of those rubber bands. And now you can just pull this off. Alright. And there you go. As you can see, now that is a perfectly, almost invisibly clipped charm bracelet. If you don't know where to get these charms, you can get them at justinstoys.com.